Hello, hello, and welcome back to my book club. Today's book review is on the Gurnsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society. So don't get immediately nervous about this kissy cover, because this is not really a romance book at all. But it does have a Netflix movie, so if you want to watch the movie before you read the book or after you read the book, if you read the book, whatever, you can do that. I really liked the Netflix movie, and so when I saw that this was an actual book too, I was really excited to read it. And I think this doesn't happen very often, but I think I kind of liked the movie better. Maybe it's because I watched the movie before I read the book, I don't know, but anyways, I'm just gonna dive right into it. So the first thing that I think we need to understand about the Gurnsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society by Mary Ann Schaefer and Annie Barrows is that it's written completely in letters. So all of the text is letters, 100% of it. So when you open the book, you see stuff like this where it says from Juliet to Dawsey, and then she writes a letter to him. All of your information, the entire book, letters. So that's very interesting. I've never read a book from that perspective before. But anyways, so the Gurnsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society takes place in 1946. So this is directly after World War II. And our main character's name is Juliet Ashton. And she is an author. And during the war, she was writing under a name that was not hers. So she was using a pen name. And so we know that she's an author, and we know that she loves books and all, everything that goes along with writing and reading and whatever. And so when we first are introduced to the Gurnsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society, Juliet has received a letter from one of the founding members of this society, and his name is Dawsey Adams. And Dawsey sends Juliet a letter asking her to help him find a book that he wants. And the reason that he has her address is that inside one of the books that he is reading, it has her address on it. And so the letter found its way to her, and through a series of letters, they get to know each other a little bit, and Juliet finds out that he is part of this group, the Gurnsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society, which formed because of the German occupation of Gurnsey. So inside the book there's a map, and you can see we've got England up here, and France down here, and then in the middle it's the English Channel. And kind of in the fold here you can see that this is the island of Gurnsey. So in the English Channel is the island of Gurnsey. And kind of through a weird series of events where, so I think I need to backtrack a tiny little bit. During the war, Gurnsey, the island, was occupied by German soldiers. So they lived there, and it was kind of a very bleak time. There was a lot of rules, there was not a lot of food or even soap, or, they were very lacking in the basic necessities. And so through a series of events, this group of people from Gurnsey gets together and they start reading and discussing books. And it's kind of a way, I think, to save kind of their humanity through the whole thing, through the whole occupation, because, a lot of people go through a lot of really tough times during the occupation, and the Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society is kind of what saves a lot of them. And they kind of end up being a bit of a family, and Juliet is just completely struck by this group of people, and so she goes to Guernsey, and she, you know, kind of gets adopted by this society. And the whole book is it's kind of a twofold, where she is kind of studying and being a part of the literary society, but then there's also some other kind of mysteries that we have to solve. And, you know, obviously Juliet has some issues that she has to solve in her personal life in order to be happy and that kind of stuff. But this is not probably a book for everybody. It is a book that I think if you enjoy any kind of history, it might appeal to you, just because it's got a lot of information on the German occupation in here, a lot of kind of real examples of things that people did just in order to survive. And it's not like a love story. The movie is probably more of a love story than the book is. The movie also has fewer characters. There's quite a few characters that we're introduced to in the book, but the movie doesn't have quite as many of those. But I think it's not the easiest read from the standpoint of like action. There isn't a lot of action. It's just a lot of like, this is what's happening. You know, because it's not like it's not super dramatic, especially because it's coming from the standpoint of letters. So you kind of have to keep that in mind as well. Not super action-packed, but I really liked it. It was just kind of like a nice, like it wasn't a stressful read, if that makes any sense. But I really liked it, and I think that it's probably not something that everybody's gonna love, like I said before, but if you are interested in anything, you know, that I've mentioned, then I would say for sure give it a chance. Also, if you're kind of on the fence, watch the movie and see if you think that the concept is something that you'd be interested in. But for now, that's all I've got, and I will see you next time. Keep reading, my friends.